Now, each spring, thousands of government officials, journalists, civil society organizations, and participants from the academia and private sectors gather in Washington, D.C. for the spring meetings of the World Bank Group and the International Monetary Fund, seminars, regional briefings, press conferences, and many other events focused on the global economy, international development, and the world's financial markets will also be featured. This year's Spring Meetings event will take place in Washington, D.C., starting from April 17 to 23, and Channels Television, of course, will be there. Business editor Bolson Omofoye joins me now on the program. It's good to have you on this side, you know.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you're getting set to go to Washington.
We are getting
right?
It's a team, yes.
Yes, you're right. Now, ahead of this meeting, the World Bank President, Jim Yong Kim, has spoken, and of course the IMF Managing Director talked about development financing and of course the need to build resilient and inclusive global economy. Now, looking at the agenda of next week's meeting, do you think that tilts towards what these two people are talking about?
Well, this is the first World Bank IMF meeting since Donald Trump's election. The last annual meetings of the World Bank IMF was in September. The U.S. elections was in November. Donald Trump was sworn in January. So this is actually the first time since Donald Trump became the U.S. president. So it's going to be very critical to look at what has been all the issues and talks around Donald Trump's presidency. This meeting is also taking place around 100 days of Donald Trump. So I'm sure all the issues on immigration, on tax laws, on Make America Great Again, Make America First, refugee issues and all of that, including the North Korea, Syria, political tensions and all that will come into major focus for policymakers, for the World Bank, IMF, economists and strategies as to, hold on a second, we're in a brand new world here. So the U.S. is going to be a major talking point. Then you look at Europe, for example. Brexit has taken, the triggering of Article 50 has also happened over the first 3 months of this new year. That hadn't happened as September last year when the World Bank IMF annual meetings take place. So it's going to be a major focus. How do we handle the fallout of Brexit for Europe? Then you have a number of issues also in Europe. You have Greece, for example, with the banking problems in Italy. And then you also look at the state of the European banking sector as well. So that is also another one. Then you look at China, for example. So there will be a lot of geopolitical issues. The developing nations, also the developing finance and economic development issues will be a lot of new thinking here. It's a brand new world since last September till now when this fresh meeting is taking place. So the IMF and the World Bank will have to deal with a number of new issues. I'm sure there'll be a lot more political discussions on how geopolitical saber rattling, muscle flexing between US and Syria, the various meetings with China, all these, how do they coalesce together to help define the direction of the global economy? Those will be the main talk from Monday.
What you have mentioned, political uncertainty, of course, the protectionism, of course, hanging around the global trade. I think these are the issues that have formed like a downside risk to what the IMF and the World Bank is actually talking about in terms of economic integration. Now, what sort of solution should the participants be advocating?
Well, is everybody back on the drawing board, as it were? If you look at some of the statements from Donald Trump and the number of key elections you have in Europe this year, also France, Germany, down the line, yes, Donald Trump while he was campaigning, made certain comments. He's made certain comments also when he became the president. Now some actions and reactions are also coming through. So it will be very good for them to look at, okay, he spoke so much about building the southern, the wall, the Mexico wall. Is it really going to come true? Is it really going to shut the door on Muslims around the world? Is it going to fight the battle with the courts as far as immigration of certain individuals from certain countries to the U.S. is concerned? All these are issues that will be discussed, and it will be very, very key. All these issues never happened last year. So is it going to be a tough discussion? It's going to be interesting.
Now, Bosun, just before I let you go, the Nigerian Central Bank and, of course, the finance minister will be at that meeting. What will be the learning curve?
I think there'll be a lot. One of the session that the finance minister Kemi Adeosun for Nigeria has on gender, nutrition, and what have you. These are some of the issues. You have the issue of women and adolescents also coming up, which we can call the youths, unemployment, jobs, innovation, technology, digital, financial technology, and all of that. This will be new thinking. Of course, we're looking out to borrow money. Some relationship, we're getting cozy. We need to talk to IMF again. We need to talk to the World Bank. We need more money as a country. For Africa, there will be more discussions. There will be discussions also on the capital market, African capital market. What are the learning curve for Africa, and what can we make out of the emerging issues around the world and build a better capital market that will be able to assist in developing inclusive growth on the continent, give us the ability to access the global financial space, and we're better out of it. I think it's a learning curve for us there, and I'm sure both the governor and the central bank and other Nigerian delegates will make the best of it.
All right, thank you very much, Bosun.
My pleasure.
I wish you a safe trip and happy Easter.
Thank you. I'll see you at the other side.
Oh, yeah. We'll be back after the break.